Hello, and welcome to episode number 78 on the Online Trainers Podcast. Today's topic is how well do you know your ideal client? Hello and welcome to the Online Trainers Podcast, where we go behind the scenes to uncover the latest tactics and strategies top trainers around the world are using to get more clients, dominate their marketplace, and get their clients amazing results. There is absolutely no fluff here. I'm your host, Lynn Trin. How well do you know your ideal client? The reasons why I'm asking you this today on this podcast episode is because over the last 3 years, over the last 2 years of mentoring trainers, yes, in fact, I mentored trainers in 2014 and helped them grow in terms of not only their knowledge in terms of progressive overload and strength training, but I also helped them with their business back in 2014 when I was starting out my online business, and I was helping them inside the gym at this very moment in time. And there was one thing that stood out to me, and I think back then I was still talking about niching down. Back then I was still talking about, knowing who your ideal client and who you want to work with. This is the biggest problem that I see right at this very moment in time in the online space, is really understanding your ideal client. Now, you might have your niche, but your niche is not your ideal client. Your niche is your ideal client is a subset of your niche, right? Your ideal client is more specific than that, because your niche are the type of people that you attract with your message. But your ideal client is the client that you would train for free, the client that you just enjoy working with so much within your niche that they just dream to train. Okay, who is your ideal client? That within your niche, there are these types of people that if you coach them, if you train them, you would get them results 110% of the time. My ideal client at this very moment in time is personal trainers with a big, massive vision, and they've got balls or ovaries to take massive action. Okay, they know exactly what they're doing. And my ideal client is not a newbie. My ideal client is someone who's making $100,000 a year inside their fitness business, and they're ready to take it to $1 million a year. That is my ideal client. Now, getting clear on your ideal client will allow you to really accept what information you put out there for free to bring the people inside your niche closer to becoming your ideal client. And what I mean by this, I'm going to give you a very, very good example. Let's say, for example, my ideal client is a dad who weight trains. He weight trains in the gym. He's a corporate guy. He's a dad and he weight trains in the gym. Now, my niche is dads. Okay, because I can talk to dads. But dads who don't weight train aren't my ideal client. That doesn't mean I don't market them. That doesn't mean I don't talk to them. That doesn't mean I don't try to help them out. I put out my free content to nurture them to becoming closer to my ideal client. And when they're your ideal client, then you sign them on. Because at this very moment in time, I see so many personal trainers out there trying to sign on clients left, right, and center. And what happens is you sign on 20 clients, and because they're not your ideal clients, you're left frustrated. You're left with more time in debt trying to hose out fire issues because they're not your ideal client. You don't enjoy working with them. You don't talk to them. You don't connect with them. So this is a big issue, because this is one of the key issues that I had to break down inside of my business to go, who is my ideal client? Who do I love working with? Who could I talk to for an hour, 3 hours, 5 hours and feel like time's flown because they just get it? And when you try and work with that person specifically, magic happens. Your life becomes easier. You can charge more. Things start to flow better. You start to become genuine, authentic. There are types of ideal clients that in an ideal world, they're your perfect client and you just love them. And that they're inside of your niche. Now, your niche, right? Your ideal client is a subset of that niche. Your niche is a bigger category. Your niche is like the pond. Now, inside that pond, right? I want to find massive salmon inside that pond. Only salmon, because I love salmon. And so within that niche, every piece of content that you put out, if I was training dads and I was trying to ascend them up, I might run a challenge for dads, right? I might run a challenge for dads and I might do a body weight workout challenge. Not that I'm phased by body weight stuff, but at the end of that challenge, I talk and educate and go, dads, would you like to know the fastest way to build your metabolism? Would you like to know a way where you can get more ripped, chiseled, build more muscle than ever, get your testosterone growth hormone back up to its certain levels? Whoa, introduce them to strength training. And so you take them out of this environment where they were not your ideal client, and you nurture them and you use this conveyor belt, and you stand here and they stand at the door, and all your content brings them closer to becoming your ideal client. And when you get this, the game changes for you. But in order for you to truly appreciate, understand, and get this, you have to learn patience. You have to learn how to deliver massive value, because if you put in the hard work now, you're going to reap the rewards if you understand this. At this very moment in time, a lot of personal trainers ask me for coaching. A lot of personal trainers aren't my ideal client. I don't want to work with any other personal trainer. I want to work with a person who's got complete vision, who's actually doing amazing things already, and want to learn the strategies, the mindset, have the tools and systems to amplify their business from close to 6 figures to multiple 6 to 7 figures. Really, the tools and the strategies, the automation processes. That's why I created Legacy, right? And so within that, every other person who isn't my ideal client gets my free content, puts it out there, right? Every other person who I was training, unless they were strength training inside of the gym and they were tracking stuff, they were not my ideal clients. And so all the content I put out there had to lead them up to get them to understand what gym was, how to do exercises, what type of exercise, how many reps, how many sets, for them to be ready to become my ideal client. And I see this so often because I would sign on anybody and everybody, and what would happen is I'd have 20, 30 clients in each little bundle, and they'd be at different stages. Some I'd enjoy, the others they were a pain in the ass. And I wondered why they were such a pain in the ass to train, talk to, because they weren't my ideal client. And until I got this, understanding this, what I'm trying to tell you right now is a game changer. But if you're ready to have faith in the process, if you're ready to give up, remember, in order to move up the ladder, you have to take your foot off the bottom step. You have to take some risk. You got to put in the clutch, and then you got to move up to that next step. But in order for you to do so, you have to let go and get out of scarcity. This mindset that there's not enough, this mindset that you're going to lose out on some clients. If you have clients and you don't enjoy training them, screw it. Get rid of them. Start from with a blank canvas. It's so much easier to start with a blank canvas. Because the problem is when you know too much, you always want to go back to what you know because it's your normal. That's what holds most people back, especially when I introduce some new concepts. And I hate to introduce new concepts. I love to try to maximize what you have inside of your business and then move you forward in the direction that best serves you. All right. So your number one key task for today is understanding who your ideal client is, understanding what traits, attributes, and everything that you love about working with them inside of their niche, and everything else, all the content, all the emails, all the blogs, all the videos. Yes, it's going to go to that ideal client, but also it's going to ascend people up who aren't your ideal clients to becoming ideal. When they're ideal, you have a lot more fun, you have a lot more freedom. You can make so many mistakes and they'll still love you. And that's when you know you have some raving fans. So that is your one task today. Go hit up your accountability buddy now. If you don't have accountability buddy, go and send this to somebody. Go, hey mate, listen to Lintrin. Go and listen to this guy and help me grow my business. All right. I will see you in the next podcast episode. And I'm sure over the next couple of days, I'll have some things done by the Aaron Santoni bootcamp, which I'm super excited for. And then, I've got a lot of Tony Robbins events and masterminds and retreats coming up. So I'd help, share the information around. Okay. Sharing is caring. Have a fantastic day, afternoon, wherever you are. Keep rocking and go smash the day. Alright, if you enjoyed this podcast, please leave me a 5-star review on iTunes and feel free to leave a review, and that way I can respond and I can take that on board in developing content to serve you. Now, if you're not a part of the Online Trainers Club on Facebook, please do yourself a favor and be a part of the conversation. That's where I add daily tips, tricks, and strategies on how you can build out funnels, how you can get more clients, and ultimately become a better online coach. Thank you for listening.